Me pese Ay3ka last year, a year 4th of November 2024, and a year primaries for the MPP party, of course. So, Nani and I heard anymore say your honorable compare Agyapong, never fire, the flag bearer for the MPP party. It's I say, show down a nail cost the work room 100% for, and Yamana Meka, and I need and see a baby, that particular day on 4th of November 2023, eba mo say honorable Makompre Kukwame Agyapong wantimi amfa flag bearer for the MPP party, but Vice President Dr. Odeneho and a flag bearer for the MPP party. Into this time around no na yen say bia honorable Makompre Agyapong ni MPP for enye free bill it's and say no be so be president ya man kwan amana ba be flag bearer and I'm so through the process na ko ba be president. Into eba say and say more ni ehunu we MPP for nsem bi we san say agent say wadwa just say MPP for betray no o man to abama no amana be flag bearer for the MPP party. Enti month 17 which is yesterday and I san same way of course our parliament na yen nyina nim say speaker of parliament Bagbin ni buafu his excellency Nana Dan Kwaku for the year pa say about the bill of LGBTQ plus that gay and lesbian issues are now also our parliament. Say speaker of parliament Agyapong. It's not here the signature of the president, Mr. President. Naka finally ababa yemra Ghana haseba. Nana do so one do. Nana do so one do into sisi speaker of parliament sinka wadwa ka yenhia bio. By enra no na important say omo nyina ehia. Na promotion ye no and ato Forson MP for member of parliament ato Forson na dey say obetwa ntro ache Ghanaian say sisi dollar rate no and I'm 15 to 16 cedis by nyesa and food inflation so and na 45 percent going. And why na you know about compare Agyapong sorry and or that speaker of parliament say he needs to shut ato Forson up. It's and say tropa and old channel. It's and say there's no way says Ghana dollar rate every 15 to 16 cedis and a food inflation so do 45% and today when I'm so am Afenyo Markins and so sorry and I say I concur said that means I agree and I was a member of parliament sorry speaker of parliament Bagbin I was say sisi asa bufo na o my his excellency Nana Dan Kwaku no so bet na say na ma any ruling na ebe kwaso parliament house na enye adwuma any kwan say omushia no mbeka any falsehood and as a false information bia Ay3ka Ghanaians is that say sisi the Ghana for here any asumwe it's as prices upon prices be rising so high. But sisi honorable compare Agyapong ye yetimi hu say the support nyina etaye MPP for echi and there is no way say ordering echi amaye MPP party ni said ye NDC for ni bi Ay3ka John Dramani Mahama ni be sha Odeneho Wadani Nechi amaye MPP party. A whole lot of people and Adani Nechi amaye NDC party. It's this time around the day ebisa for honorable compare Agyapong or the support amaye Dr. Odeneho vice president and flag bearer for the MPP party. Yancha woni okoti nsema hodo akoso emrasisia medas.
Alexander Kwame na Afenyo marking mandate ne ultimatum or the speaker of parliament say within 7 days on sign and reconvene parliament and then speaker of parliament had to reconvene parliament mashebe dwafo ekohia in the chamber na Bagbin na adwen say nka nyade abema parliament ehia biem because we feel say ono agemratum president and sign president on sign tini buofu na emra hui and we say the mra yadwuma in the parliament etimi hia. And in the House of Parliament, in Commodity no Kosono and the minority leader, Kilsato Forson, a sorry say, we be ditro, a chantro, and the Ay3ka Ghana for, and the good doctor like no more Baumia anymore. Say dollar rate, and then 15 equal 16 cities, food inflation, and then 45%. And why na Kennedy a compare Agyapong, a central Mashibi Biani, Pejanimo, say, Mr. Speaker, you have to shut him up. Throne wood, throne wood channel. Nyandia ebe pene amen this for cause we ditro the egu Ghana Forson and Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Now say NDC for your emergency or no candidate want to know free MPP party anymore. They say he has come and come for good. One some George ne omo kan say na na so ko independent ne ndio ne kan dis shut up. In co independent bia asem na mo ka no e tro. Food inflation e 26%. Dollar rate e 14. On no Canadian Agyapong is teaching on record because Parliament is the house of records. Now can decide cut one so say no ene o free bank and some about Parliament on he will not allow the minority leader to lie to Ghanaians. And some know ha young Konyenko Tie said na the Chamber of Parliament is he who so ene.
Mr. Speaker must protect the majority leader when it's at the dispatch box.
Honorable members will specifically be calling names so that we don't use general words. When we hear a member that is intolerant, mention the name of the member. Then I can...
Is to give certain assurances. And that is why the government introduced the 1D1F. The 1D1F is aimed at giving such tax incentives, giving space for production. And that is what the government is doing. All of us know that we need our ministers in office so that they can report to Parliament, so that we can ensure accountability in governance. And that is why, Mr. Speaker, we are here. Mr. Speaker, if Parliament is not functioning, how do we hold government to account? Mr. Speaker, when it comes to the IDA, Mr. Speaker, we dealt with the first part of it. It was left with the 150. We had a debate, and it was left to putting the question. Mr. Speaker, no one can tell me that this is not a national matter. This is not a matter of public interest. This is not urgent. We need the $150 million into the economy to help shore up, Mr. Speaker, our reserves and to help us, Mr. Speaker, ensure that as the funds are coming in, Mr. Speaker, we know they were talking about the cedi weakening. We need these dollars in. And I believe that as patriots, our colleagues will support government to undertake this urgent business. Mr. Speaker, I shall conclude by saying that our colleagues have expressed their concerns. We have taken these concerns on board, but we expect that even in the conduct of business, even where we disagree, we should avoid unnecessary rancor. Have your way, have your say, but let us do so with a certain level of candor. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for upholding the Constitution of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, although in the reckoning of time, Mr. Speaker, although the reckoning of time, you chose the last end. Mr. Speaker, but you say you are still within 7 days, within 7 days, and within 7 days.
Today's rate, the exchange rate, is not 15.3, but nobody. Again, the food inflation is not 48, but we didn't say anything. The moment he gets on his feet, everybody is screaming from the other side. So, Mr. Speaker, what is the description that should be given to them for their behavior? It's becoming too much. We can also get up and scream at them. What will be the results you're going to get out of that? So, my honorable members, you all, with all due respect, you don't have the license to scream and think nobody has the license to respond. Yeah, we can also respond accordingly. But what will be the fate of the House? So I'm challenging my minority leader to tell us. I just came from a great bank and I know the rate. So tell us what is today's rate. You are saying 15.3. Tell us. Thank you very much.
Well,
what is happening in our constituencies? We know that contractors are back to site. Road works are ongoing. We know that, Mr. Speaker, food inflation is not 48%, as the minority leader wanted to tell us. It is not 48%. Mr. Speaker, there we go. There we go. I listened to him quietly. Mr. Speaker, you know, I've always said that they are not Democrats. They are intolerant. We listen to the minority leader in silence. But when you are punching them, they can't take the punch. We heard you. I sat down. I took notes. And that is you. Speaker, food inflation is not 48%. Mr. Speaker, this government acknowledges that we have challenges in the economy. We didn't see COVID coming. Soon after COVID, we were not expecting a geopolitical situation that would disrupt the global economic...
Honorable Majority Leader, just a minute. Just a minute. Honorable Zaneto, I've seen you on your feet for some time now. What is amiss?
Mr. Speaker, I take some offense by the Majority Leader's statement, implying that the NDC caucus is not democratic or tolerant. I do not feel that if we have all become elected members in this House, which represents the entire country as a legislative arm, he should stand there and declare that our side is not democratic nor tolerant. And I think he should actually withdraw that statement.
Well, Majority Leader, your attention has been drawn to the use of some words which your colleague feels are inappropriate, to say the least. What do you say to that?
Mr. Speaker, I was stressing the point that they should tolerate divergent views. Mr. Speaker, the point was that when the minority leader was on his feet, we all kept quiet and listened to him. And it was my turn to also have my bite. But, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Senator Agyapong, if how I put it is a problem, Mr. Speaker, it's only appropriate that same is withdrawn. Except to say that they should tolerate me. Mr. Speaker, by their fruit we are knowing.
Immediate attention and action. In recalling Parliament, I am guided by the principle that the public interest must always be paramount. Our actions and decisions in this House must, however, reflect the will and aspirations of the Ghanaian people, and we must always try to uphold the highest standards of integrity and accountability. Honourable members, as we conduct our deliberation, it is important to recognize that we are in an election year. This is a critical time for our nation, and we must all act responsibly to safeguard our democracy and ensure a peaceful transition of power. I urge each of you to be mindful of your words and actions, both within and outside this chamber. We must eschew conduct that could breed chaos or undermine the integrity of our democratic institutions. Let us conduct ourselves with dignity and respect, upholding the values that define us as a nation. While we are in an election year, we must remember that we still hold the mandate of the Ghanaian people until the expiry of our mandate on the stroke of midnight of 6th January 2024. It is our duty to act in the best interest of the nation, putting aside personal agendas. I am confident that with goodwill and a commitment to dialogue, we can overcome any challenges that may arise. Let us remember that we are all servants of the Ghanaian people, and our primary goal should always be to serve their interests and advance the cause of our nation. As we embark on this session, let us renew our commitment to serving the people of Ghana with diligence, dedication, and humility. Let us work together to build a better Ghana for all our citizens.